Welcome back, Indie Warriors. It's me, your gamer girlfriend, back for this week's upcoming releases in indie gaming. There's a whopping 26 different titles on this list for you today, so strap in, cause I'm about to get to yapping.
We interrupt this upcoming Indies broadcast to bring you news of even more exciting indie titles, because this video is sponsored by Gravity and their awesome initiative, Start with Gravity. Start with Gravity is focused on discovering and publishing fantastic, fun, and heartfelt indie projects from around the globe. But don't just take my word for it, have yourself a gander at games like Little Gods of the Abyss, an action-adventure platformer that puts players in control of Nia, who sets out to heal the world of the soul by opening one door at a time. Stages, representing the state of mind, can be altered by different feelings and emotions, which can impact the overall appearance of the level. The art style is truly striking, and this is a concept that is sure to pull on a lot of heartstrings if you'd like to check out the playable demo for yourself. But if emotions and feelings aren't really your thing, perhaps you might enjoy Alt F4 2, the sequel to 2021's Alt F4. This 3D permadeath platformer is sure to invoke one emotion, and that's rage! Okay, maybe you have more patience than I do, but you're gonna need it as you put your reflexes to the test maneuvering Don Quixote through his many absurd trials, all to save the, Chicken King. Chicken King? Alt F4 2 looks extremely challenging, but equally hilarious. And if that's your indie flavor, it's just been released out of early access and is available now. More of a side-scrolling puzzle platforming fan? Gravity has still got your back with Pig Romance. Play as a mechanical-looking swine escaping a sausage factory, gathering pieces of ham along the way in this cutely quirky adventure. And yes, there might even be a little romance in the air. Pig Romance is available now in early access with a playable demo for the curious. Links to all games mentioned are in the description box below, and a huge thank you to Gravity for sponsoring this video. And now, folks, let's let the upcoming indies roll.
Looking for a narrative base builder? The Crust is a strategy and simulation game set on the moon. Players will build and manage their lunar colony, mining for resources, automating production, and conducting research. You'll need to ensure the survival of your colony, taking care of your crew, trading with Earth, and exploring the moon's surface and secrets through the narrative campaign. This visually stylish survival city builder emphasizes automation and strategic planning that will be necessary to ensure the survival and growth of humanity. If you're a fan of base builders like Captain of Industry, go ahead and add the Crust to your wish list. Supernatural is an action-adventure horror game that's been sitting on my wish list for quite some time. This game tells the story of Detective Wyatt and the mysterious disappearance of a housemaid, Mrs. Susan. Players will investigate a decidedly haunted house, utilizing their microphone to both trigger paranormal events and interact with supernatural entities. Supernatural features gorgeous graphics, logic puzzles, tons of scares, and 3 possible endings influenced by all of your decisions. Supernatural looks extremely up my alley as a horror fan, and with each run taking a short 2-hour playthrough, I personally can't wait to check out all the endings. Whether you decide to play it now or wait until spooky season, go ahead and add it to your wish list. Entering early access, Renaissance Kingdom Wars is a real-time and grand strategy hybrid game set in 1510, where players will lead a mercenary company to battle and eventually manage a city of your own and rise to great power. Renaissance Kingdom Wars has 36 historic kingdoms to choose from, large-scale battles, city building, and diplomacy mechanics with a dynamic world influenced by technological advancements. Will you carve out a domain of your own and become a great ruler? Or rebel against your liege to take the crown for yourself? From the devs of Crystal Clash comes Galactic Glitch, a physics-based twin-stick roguelike shooter where players will use a gravity gun to manipulate the battlefield, hurling asteroids and enemy missiles and so much more. You'll explore a glitched universe, uncovering secrets and gaining new abilities. Each run offers challenging enemies and the opportunity to recraft your build to use the variety of power-ups and upgrades to destroy your foes. Sci-fi roguelike fans, you don't want to miss out on this one. And speaking of top-down sci-fi, Shellrunner is a top-down looter shooter set in a dystopian 2045. Players control shells, remotely operated bodies, to fulfill high-risk contracts in a cyberpunk underworld. With procedurally generated maps and 20 shells to choose from, Shellrunner offers unique runs, tons of weapons and upgrades, and even a co-op multiplayer option so you and a friend can climb the ranks together. This stylish PvE extraction is entering early access on Monday, so go ahead and add it to the wish list. If you, like so many others, felt burned by Blockbuster Inc. and are kinda still hoping for a game that captures the same magic that was 2005's The Movies, perhaps Movie Tycoon is the game we've all been waiting for. This business simulation game has players tackling the role of a film studio mogul, taking you through the biz, beginning as a humble studio and eventually growing to create and direct blockbuster films. You'll need to manage your own movie empire, overseeing script writing, shooting, and post-production, and you can even utilize the in-depth character creation mode to design your own actors for the roles. But it isn't all fun in the Hollywood sun. You'll need to balance budgets, market your film, and navigate the competition to score that Oscar-worthy hit. Hopefully, Movie Tycoon's time in early access will help the devs mold this movie simulation game to the game of our dreams and allow players to recapture that movie-making magic. I know my indie warriors are gonna love this one. Fallen Leaf is a retro side-scrolling adventure game where you'll play as Leaf, a treasure hunter fighting against a repressive ruler. This game features over 70 platforming stages, magical gauntlet upgrades, and diverse levels. Uncover the mystery of an ancient evil and find an object of incredible power to vanquish evil. I know my retro lovers and fans of Celeste, Mega Man, and Shovel Knight are gonna want to add this one to their carts. Whew, we're 7 games in and it's only Tuesday. Up next, a title I know many of my Metroidvania fans are looking forward to, Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder. This 2D platformer and action RPG is set in a steampunk world. Play as Alethea, a mercenary uncovering the secrets of the steam city of Canaan, discovering ancient enigmas, and hunting the horrors that slither through its forgotten depths. This retro-inspired run-and-gun platformer looks perfect for my Animal Well and Castlevania fans. Introducing Magical Delicacy. You'll play as the young witch Flora, cooking up meals and potions in your customized kitchen for the bustling town of Grot. Discover ingredients, follow recipes, or invent your own concoctions, and sell or deliver your potions and pastries to friends and customers alike. Magical Delicacy has platforming moments, gorgeous pixel graphics, and an adorable witchy aesthetic that my cozy gamers will enjoy. And you'll love exploring the town, customizing your shop, learning new recipes, and whipping up meals and potions for a fun cast of characters. This cooking Metroidvania was announced during the 2023 Wholesome Direct, and I am so excited to see it's finally ready for release. Yaoling Mythical Journey is releasing to early access. This creature collecting fantasy RPG has a semi-open world and an auto-battle combat system, and of course, over 300 adorable Yaolings to collect. You'll play as a Yaoling keeper in the land of the ancients, tasked with uncovering an ancient and mysterious evil. On your journey, you'll travel to uncharted lands, discover new Yaolings, battle powerful demons, expand your village, and make new friends. Obvious comparisons to Pokemon aside, this game has gorgeous graphics, a unique aesthetic, and a soothing soundtrack for you to enjoy. Flock is a game with a simple premise that I think my cozy gamers are going to enjoy. Flock is a multiplayer co-op creature collector that explores the joys of flight and discovery. You'll take on the role of a flying shepherd, tending to your own flock of adorable flying creatures. As you traverse gorgeously rendered environments, you'll collect creatures to add to your herd, growing their wool and creating items such as scarves, hats, cardigans, and more. With tons of creatures of varying rarities and hidden treasures to discover, Flock looks like the perfect, wholesome, casual game to sink hours into. Fans of games like Journey and Flower should go ahead and add this to their wish list. Face the Cult of Zagreus as a team of vampires in this first-person looter shooter. EvilVEvil has a cast of badass vampire characters with unique abilities, a gripping narrative to immerse yourself in, and a co-op mode for you to enjoy with your blood buddies. Build the perfect vampire warrior with a variety of upgrades, weapons, and combat styles. This visually stylish game with fast-paced, blood-pumping action and Borderlands vibes is perfect for all you PvE shooter and Apex Legends fans. Silent Depth 2 is releasing to early access. This submarine sim has you patrolling the ocean depths as a member of the Silent Service during World War II. A fleet has spotted you and your vessel, and now you and your crew must fight to survive the enemy. This sim light will take you through each of the important roles of a submarine, from navigation to diving and firing torpedoes. Silent Depth 2 has varied weather conditions alongside its day and night cycles, and realistic water graphics for a truly immersive experience. It's the year 2329 in a dystopian New York City, and Detective James Kara is in pursuit of a serial killer targeting the city's elites. Lead the investigation by utilizing your time manipulation augments and tech to reconstruct the events leading up to the murders and uncover clues to solve your case. This interactive noir detective story looks absolutely gorgeous with these photorealistic graphics and gritty cyberpunk neo-noir vibes. Nobody Wants to Die seems like the perfect game for fans of BioShock and Alone in the Dark, and I truly can't wait to check it out on Wednesday. Check out the early access for Crestfallen Medieval Survival, a multiplayer PvP survival game where you create a knight, upgrade their skill tree, and equip them with armor and weapons. You can also build and defend vast castles, explore a land filled with magical creatures, and epic quests. Tyrelia is a vast realm with rich lore that will unfold as you aid various factions against a myriad of foes, or live the simple life tending to your farm and trading with merchants. However you decide to play, fans of the medieval atmosphere who love the survival simulator experience are sure to enjoy this one. Here's another Metroidvania for you to keep your eyes on. Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus is a side-scrolling Souls-like platformer that, I won't lie, at first glance, this looks a lot like Nine Souls, right? Bo follows the story of a fox descended from the heavens to fulfill an ancient prophecy. Use your legendary bow staff to leap, bound, and glide through lush, hand-drawn environments influenced by Japanese folklore, navigate platforming challenges, brew arcane teas to unlock new abilities for Bo's shape-shifting staff, and collect powerful allies. Bo is visually stunning with mythical boss battles, an incredible soundtrack, and hand-drawn animation that you already know your ghouls in love with. Whew. Okay, Thursday is our biggest day, so lock in, besties. First up, Norland. An empire has fallen, and as lords and ladies from across the kingdom fight to gain influence, you must lead your small kingdom to victory and greatness. This city-building strategy game revolves around managing a noble family and their city. You'll need to manage resources, upgrade various buildings to support the city, and maintain relationships within the family to avoid conflicts while tending to the needs of your citizens. While Norland is releasing to early access, it still boasts a multitude of scenarios and options that will define the world around you, allowing players to build their own unique story. And fans of RimWorld and Crusader Kings will love the art style and medieval strategy gameplay. Vorax is an open-world survival horror game releasing to early access this week. A lethal pathogen has swept across a once tranquil island, infecting the population and transforming paradise into a hellscape. Players must scavenge and craft improvised weapons and shelter, fight for survival, and navigate the island in an attempt to find safety. You'll have to endure dynamic weather systems, enemies stalking and hunting you through the wilderness, hunger, infection, caves with untold dangers, and more. Fans of the forest will love immersing themselves in the mysteries of this island. Guns and gods collide in a battle for the fate of humanity in Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. This Souls-like will have players stepping into the boots of Norvanik, an elite member of the Coalition Army. Joined by a fox-like god named Enki, the two of you embark on a quest to defeat vengeful gods intent on causing the downfall of mankind. Traverse the lands of Keon, discover new weapons and upgrades, embrace magic, and strengthen your equipment to prepare for the final battle against the gods. Flintlock has gorgeous 3D graphics and fast-paced combat that you can expect from the folks who made Ashen. And with its mythical creatures and gripping narrative, I think gamers who loved Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice and even Elden Ring might want to keep an eye on this one. The German word SCHiM has quite a few meanings, from shadow to spirit. In this game, players take on the role of a SCHiM, that is the soul and spirit of every object, thing, or living being. Everything and everyone has a SCHiM, and they should never be parted, and yet you have been. In this absolutely stunning, stylish, isometric 3D platformer, you'll be navigating through shadows in order to find that which you've been separated from. Each level of SCHiM is beautifully animated, offers unique platforming challenges, and a compelling narrative filled with charm. The environments seem lively and yet peaceful, and I could go on and on about the art direction for this one. And I've been keeping my eye on this title since the Wholesome Direct, and it seems like the perfect game for cozy platformer lovers and players who enjoyed Haunty and Cocoon. Explore the beautiful alpine village of Hinterberg in this classic action-adventure RPG where tourists travel to explore and dungeon delve for fun. Play as Louisa, a burnt-out law student looking to escape her corporate life and conquer the dungeons of Hinterberg. This story-driven game combines Zelda-like puzzles with combat and exploration via snowboard. It's absolutely beautifully rendered in this watercolor-esque style and has a pretty cool cast of characters for you to forge friendships with and become a better slayer. RPG fans, this game looks really exciting, and with any luck, it'll become your new favorite adventure title. There admittedly isn't much information about Meifumado, but based on these Super Famicom-era graphics and the side-scrolling gameplay, I think you're gonna like this one, Indie Warriors. Meifumado is a post-apocalyptic RPG inspired by historical Japan. It features non-linear levels and a diverse combat system with a variety of weapons for you to utilize while defeating opponents. The samurai combat and bleak pixel art graphics paired with these arcade-era designs seems to have really piqued players' interests and makes Meifumado one for you to keep your eyes on. This sci-fi strategy RPG will have players attempting to survive the galaxy's toughest prison. Choose your prisoner, join one of 2 rival gangs, and get to know the other inmates while climbing the hierarchy to become the new boss. Space Prison also features tactical turn-based combat, a resource management and crafting system, and roguelike mechanics, so when you die, you'll return to your cell with all that you stowed away safe and sound, but in a completely different body altogether. Space Prison has a visually interesting style with rats you can train to be your friends. So if you're looking for a strategy RPG with comic book aesthetics and humor, go ahead and add this one to your wish list. Vampire Therapist is a visual novel where players will guide vampires through emotional and psychological challenges with therapy. Play as Sam, a former Wild West gunslinger turned therapist, and help vampires from different historical eras overcome and discuss a variety of psychological disorders. Vampire Therapist utilizes real therapy concepts vetted by licensed therapists, mini-games to help learn meditation techniques, and a cast of vampires you might want to engage in a little neck-biting with. With a star-studded cast of voice actors including Matthew Mercer, a dark comedic tone, and gorgeous 2D graphics, Vampire Therapist merges cozy visual novels with a lovely goth aesthetic. Earl Vs The Mutants is a top-down survival action roguelike set in a post-apocalyptic world. It's up to Earl, the sole employee of Edna's Pest Control, to fight waves of mutants using vehicle-mounted weapons, drones, and power-ups. Earl Vs The Mutants has fun 3D environments you can use to your advantage as you ram into foes, and stylish character designs that are equal parts silly and a little bit unsettling. With quick 10-minute runs, dynamic builds, and boss battles that will earn you their vehicle, this dynamic twin-stick shooter seems like the perfect title for my bullet hell roguelike fans. So strap in, gamers, that Employee of the Month title isn't gonna earn itself. Releasing to early access is a racing game that attempts to capture the charm of those retro racers from your youth. Old School Rally offers fast-paced, arcade-style gameplay, a variety of vehicles and tracks from around the world, gorgeous retro-inspired graphics, and a leaderboard to track your progress as you challenge other racers from around the globe. This game was created by a solo dev, and while it's in early access, they hope to get some feedback to polish it up a little. Hopefully, Old School Rally will capture the spirit, soundtrack, and stage design of those rally racers we spent way too many quarters on. Thank you again, Indie Warriors, for letting me join you for upcoming indies week after week. Next week, Old Gamer Joe will be hosting the show, so for one last time, thanks again for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know which of these titles you'll be adding to your 2 playlist. I'll be seeing you Tuesdays and Thursdays here and on Twitch for our live streams at 12 p.m. Central. Until then, keep on being a voice to the voiceless, Indie Warriors.